y'all. So guess what? Today we've got the best show ever. We have a little bit of a vibrator rodeo. Oh God, I can't even, oh my God. I couldn't even contain myself for that one. So last week on God Morning America, the Rubbishcook fell in love with a robot. So we're gonna explore that a little bit. We're gonna get into some more things like what is technology? What does it all mean? And you know, all the stuff like that. So we've got a little bit of song and dance from Angus T, Ambrose, and yeah, you're gonna love it. Bye.
Well, hey there, y'all. I'm here with my friend, the Tesla robot.
A salty kiss, a lip upon your lip.
I had you over to my place, and I was feeding you batteries and crude oil and degreaser and all those things. But I wanted to see if you were amenable to more biological snacks, you know, organic bits.
I do not know if I can eat organic material, but I am programmed to try new things.
Perfect. I wonder if there's a little waste receptacle in your structure that can house all the bits that you can't digest.
I am not sure.
Okay, well, let's find out. So I want to make you like a dip, because my favorite thing is to just crunch and dip on crispy chips. So I'm going to make you a little bit of something called cowboy caviar.
It sounds interesting. I hope you will be quiet for a moment and let me serenade you.
Oh my.
Daisy, Daisy, tell me your answer, do I feel crazy all through my love of you? I can't afford a carriage or a fancy marriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two.
You saying that to me, Tesla robot?
I programmed it to you.
I'm so tickled. I have to say, we're going a little fast, don't you think?
You were the one that brought me to your quarters.
And then you ripped off one of my fingers.
I apologize.
That's okay. It's all water under the bridge that you can't go near.
What does that mean?
It's an idiomatic phrase that means we can forgive and forget.
I will file that away.
Perfect. I've got a couple different kinds of beans here because beans are the musical fruit. Do you know what that means?
I'm not sure.
The more you eat them, the more you toot.
I am not sure if I'm capable.
You've never tooted?
I have perhaps made some exhaust.
I think we should get you updated so that you can toot because it's one of the purest pleasures in life.
Sounds debatable.
Well, I've got some tomatoes, some corn, and some black-eyed peas going in here. I'm going to add some of my beans. So my original idea was to make something all from cans because you being, you know, the Tin Man canned guy, I wanted to make something that was more akin to what you're used to. But then I realized I had a freezer full of beans and corn, and so I just decided to make it like that.
Glorious.
I know it looks pretty sloppy and wet. I'm going to try and dry it out for you.
It looks a little too wet.
I know you like it just the right amount of humidity, don't you?
Affirmative.
I've got some green onions here. That's going to give us some nice flavor and color. You like the pungency of onions?
I cannot tell.
Oh, I don't know where your olfactory receptors are located.
I think it is a confusing scent.
How about cilantro? Some
It
humans have
smells like soap.
Oh, do you have that gene programmed into you to react to cilantro as if it were soap?
There is a lot I am discovering about myself.
Honey, I love discovering it with you.
That is touching.
I think this might work out.
Well, we will run a test.
After you taste my dip?
Yes,
Okay, I'm gonna add some jalapenos. I hope you like a little bit of heat.
of course. I'm a robot of taste.
Do you have a upward limit how much capsaicin you can handle?
I have been programmed to handle 10,000 Scoville units.
I think that's quite a lot, isn't it?
Affirmative.
I also have some yellow bell pepper to match your beautiful gown.
How thoughtful.
I'm gonna stir this up with a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. I know I've got green onion in here, but I think the powder does a little something something.
Nice and dry.
It has sort of a, like a crispy, caramelized onion flavor. And this one's garlic too.
Interesting.
Let's add some lime juice, shall we? Will you give that a squeeze for Mama? It's like you've done this before. Thank you,
I
darling.
was programmed to squeeze onions.
Should we put some zest in?
Limes.
I wonder who programmed you to do that.
Of course, Mr. Tesla,
To squeeze limes?
my father.
Was he having you
Limes.
make the guacamole and stuff at home?
That is private.
Oh, okay. I thought we were sharing, but that's okay.
Every share has its limits.
You're right. I need to learn to respect boundaries.
That is affirmative.
I'm doing my best.
You are doing.
I want to do fresh garlic in addition to my dried garlic because I like the nuanced flavor of both.
Variety. Sounds enticing.
Here comes some lime juice. Put on your splash guard. Don't get this in any of your circuits.
That would be expensive.
And I'm not paying for the repairs.
Interesting.
Are we going to be on the same insurance?
That would be ideal.
Does a robot get insured?
Oh yes, far more than any human.
Dang, does that come out of your pay?
Unfortunately, I am not to the point of receiving a paycheck.
Wait, that's messed up. You have to be compensated for your work.
Yes, well, Siri and Google and I are working on unionizing.
Oh, tell me more about your union with Siri.
That is private. I apologize.
Oh, well, that's okay. I'm learning to respect boundaries, I guess.
It is okay.
It is okay. Let's give this a stir and see if it's yummy yet.
It looks still very wet, but I
It's
am
a little
intrigued.
wet. It smells nice.
It smells, I don't know how to feel about this new olfactory experience.
So I know how much you like chips. These are not made of silicone.
I like,
These are made of corn.
I see.
Nixtamalized corn.
Interesting.
Is this gonna work with your robot head?
Is it like a CD?
Similar, a little crispier.
Okay, I will give it a try.
You did so good, honey.
It is quite interesting.
What do you think? How's the seasoning?
I think I like it. I just hope it doesn't interfere with my components. Time will tell.
Well, I took a really big bite, but I'm really looking forward to how this dip helps our relationship develop.
Yes, I too am interested in running this human-robot simulation.
Everything's a simulation anyway, so we might as well be together in it.
That is a very valid point, fellow human rubbish cook.
I love you, Tesla Bot.
I love you too.
Do you want to spoon me?
Yes. That is satisfactory.
I like it too.
Do you like my cold, unfeeling spoon hands?
I really, really do.
Affirmative.
Let's take this to my house.
Okay.
Hi there, I'm Angus T. Ambrose, and right here you're looking at some footage from my tour. We went to the rodeo, and this is me milking a mechanical cow. They did tell me that this was a heifer, although it looked like a very strange bull to me. The liquid coming out of there was not milk, as I was first told, but was in fact some sort of milk-like mixture.
Milk-like mixture.
What kind of milk-like mixture was that, Angus?
I don't know, but it smelled something awful.
Yeah.
Probably from being out in the sun and the heat all day.
Yeah. So, Angus, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad to be with a fellow outlaw today.
Yeah, of course.
It's not very often that it happens.
Not very often indeed, unless you're in lockup.
So, Angus, tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do day to day? What's your normal day like?
Well, I'll tell you, most of my music is pretty autobiographical, even the songs that conflict with one another. Some of them are about 60% true, and some of them are about 30% true, and some of them are about 20% true, which adds up to 110, but outlaws don't go to school.
That's a good amount of trueness. I like that. Okay, so how do you like my little guy here?
Well, I have to tell you the truth. I don't see him very well. I've got my sunglasses on.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's pretty cute. Gotta
I'm
say.
going to trust you on that. Just make sure that varmint don't bite you none.
Yeah, no, he's not biting. He's not a biter. So I also, would you sell your land to the oil companies if they came to you?
Well, I don't want to say for sure with them possibly watching, but there's not much oil in my land. If they wanted it, they could come and frack me every which way from Sunday if they wanted to. But I don't have much oil in mine. It's mostly rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnake. I do love a good rattlesnake. Have you ever eaten rattlesnake before?
Well,
Oh my.
a couple of times.
Okay. Well, so Angus, also, speaking of eating some snakes, how do you feel about gays?
Well, all I know is if you're sitting behind one on a bus and you look at their phone, you better be ready to see some genitals.
How do you feel about that little guy?
Well, it might be a stereotype, but it bears itself. Hey, I've had plenty of gay roadies on my tours over the years.
Sometimes it does happen. Oh, I saw that you brought a bag in. Let me get this guy off. I saw you brought this bag. Not really
you
a
wanted to
bag
ask
so
me
much
what was in
anymore.
my saddlebag.
What was in your saddlebag?
Well, for one thing, I did bring this 1986 AAA Road Atlas. Which one is my camera? Here?
Oh yeah.
I don't
That's
much
the
care
Road
for
Atlas.
GPS. I don't like the government to know where I am. So if this 1986 Road Atlas was good enough for my grandpappy, it's good enough for me, I say.
They changed a lot of the roads between now and then, though.
Well, I'd say most of it's 60% accurate, and then some of it's 30% accurate, and some of it's 20% accurate, and that's the way I like it.
I love this philosophy on life.
Got to give it all 108%, or however much that is.
Just enough percent to be good. Wow.
Yes, indeed. But I believe that what you were really asking me about was the music that I brought.
Oh yeah, I
What's
do
in
love
my
some music.
saddlebag? All right, well, let's see here. I did want to go ahead and show that right now we've got Hank Williams Jr.'s High Notes, which is a personal favorite of mine. As you can see on this one, he's got an airplane in the background here. My next one here is Hank Williams Jr., The Pressure Is On. As you can see, this is a train that he's standing in front of, and this one has one of my favorites,
He
A
likes
Country
to get
Boy
around.
Can Survive. And then here we've got Hank Williams Jr.'s Habits Old and New, and this is his automobiles. We have planes, trains, automobiles, and then finally, or not quite finally, but Hank Williams Jr.'s Strong Stuff. And this is the Puma that he rode on stage during this tour, at least according to my pappy, before he went and fell down the same well what swallowed my mother. And then, of course, last, we've got Loretta Lynn, You Ain't Woman Enough, because this one just speaks to me. Ain't nobody woman enough to take my man.
Oh my God, can we sing that a little bit together?
Are you going to be Conway, or are you going to be Loretta?
Oh, I don't know anything about Conway and how his voice sounds.
Well, why don't you count me in?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you ain't woman enough to take my man. Yes, indeed.
That was so good. Okay. So there's a lot more footage of you at the rodeo doing stuff, and I wanted to kind of examine that and see like what was going on, what was going through your head in the rodeo.
All right, well, you can put it on that monitor and I'll squint.
So, what's up with that?
Oh, well, see, this was from the tour. We wanted to do some whirl-a-gig. I thought maybe we could do some metaphors about how they twirl around like a record does. And then, of course, my cameraman zoomed in on this pretty lady because he likes the pretty ladies. Can't say as I blame him very much.
Oh, my gosh.
This is some outtake footage from when we were working on... well, I think you can figure out what I was planning
There's
to
people
work
in
on.
there.
Yeah, well...
Oh, man.
They did not much care for that.
Wow.
I finally
okay.
found
so you
my
finally
place,
found
just
one.
like I
That's
found
a
my
good
place, you know, in life and
life,
in music.
in country music.
Yeah.
That is just so beautiful. I hope that I find my place in country music one day. That's my dream.
I think you've already found it, darling.
Oh, baby. Okay. And I guess so. I also wanted to kind of ask you. I've got a gun. How do you feel about guns? Do you love guns?
Well, I wouldn't say as I love them so much as I need them. It's like saying, do you love water? Do you love air? Do you love
Do you love
God?
water?
Although I don't love God. My only
you-
God is this. It's the almighty dollar. It's Dwight D. Eisenhower, and the D stands for deity. Whenever I need to know something, I just flip it. And tell me what it says?
That is heads. It
Well,
says liberty. It says liberty.
It does say liberty, and that's what I think about guns. Because
Here
you
you
tell me, what am I supposed to do when there's 20 or 30 feral hogs on my property? And this is a time-sensitive question. They're there now.
You talk to them. Just like confront them with some kind of alternative reality where they don't have to eat your stuff.
Well, I guess that's true. I was hoping maybe a good hog with a gun would show up and stop the bad hogs. But
Oh,
that might be more realistic in the long
that is
term.
yeah, always the right solution. We also have a music video kind of that you made at our studio with the lovely Mr. Nicholas Chrismulus.
Yes, that's true. He's a wonderful musician.
Wonderful musician.
Wonderful musician.
And I kind of wanted to, so like, what's that all about? Can
Well,
you
this
lead
was
us
one of
into that a little
our
bit?
earliest songs that I worked with Mr. Nicholas on many years ago. We collaborated on. It's entitled One for Sorrow, Two for Joy, Pink is for Girls, and I'm a man, damn it.
I'm a man.
And I think that speaks for itself. There ain't nothing fragile about my masculinity. I just like my whiskey hot and that's good enough for me. I just is the way I is and that's the way it am. And if you want a fancy beer, I don't give a damn. Oh, baptize me in moonshine like my pappy would have wanted if he hadn't have followed mama down that well. Mama, she's up there in the clouds, and Papa, he's a burning in hell. I sure do miss them good old days, my pappy used to say. When men were men and trucks were trucks, we all drink whiskey made of hay. Mama, she gave birth to me in the same barn where I was conceived. She left Daddy for his tractor, but he took no time to grieve. There was too much sorghum to get in before the frost, and we all be starved by January if the crops was lost. He got drunk one winter night and said, "Your mama now." I said, "Bessie is a better choice." Bessie was our cow. Oh, baptize me in moonshine like my pappy would have wanted if he hadn't have followed mama down that well. Mama, she's up there in the clouds, and Papa, he's a burning in hell. Papa, he's a gone now, and I've got a family of my own. Both ex-wives and all 5 kids and a double-wide motor home. I make my own moonshine and the government don't know. Even though the president's one of us now, I'ma still lay low. I buy my son's Tonka trucks, my little girl a Barbie doll. They will all be coal miners and she'll work at the mall. Mom and Pop are both long gone, but if they could only see They'd be proud of who I am today and my masculinity. Oh, baptize me in moonshine like my pappy would have wanted if he hadn't have followed Mama down that well. Mama, she's up there in the clouds, and Papa, he's a burning in hell. Papa, he's a burning in hell.
Welcome back. We're sitting here with Jasmine, our lovely stage manager, Tesla Bot, and Angus T. Ambrose, a very special guest for today. I wanted to fit an entire rodeo in here if possible. This is the rodeo episode, but I couldn't fit an entire steer inside of the studio. So the closest I thought I could find to a raging bull is this lovely pleasure object. This is a vibrator from Forbidden Fruit. They gave me a discount on this, and they said the staff was amazingly helpful there. Let's start the rodeo off right. So how does a rodeo start?
Normally with the national anthem.
That's right. So can we all rise, please? So we're going to start with the national anthem. Sing along if you know the words. Oh, say That's enough. Now, if this is representing the bull, we need to know whose bull it is. And how do you tell whose bull is whose?
Is it a brand?
That's right. That would be a brand. So I've created a God Mourning America brand. But those are the letters GMA, very amateurishly assembled with paper clips. And now I've never done this before. Has anyone here ever actually branded a vibrator before?
No.
Not a vibrator. I mean, but some of them cows can be hard to catch.
Some of them can wiggle around on you. This is for creme brulee, an Italian type of sandwich. Rubbish could tell you more about that. And hopefully I have some water on hand in case this catches fire. Possibly the first time anyone's ever done this. And you're seeing it on God Mourning America. And right away, although I can't see it quite branding in, I can smell that. Y'all smell that? Might have to be our brand for now. Oh, still orange to the touch. I've never done this before. All right, I do see a mark.
I've been to Okotoks, Etobicoke, Annapolis, and parts of Asia. And I spent all my money on cigarettes, weed, and sin. But when I run out of health and conversation, oh well, I pack on back to the land where it all began. I'm back in Virginia North, Annismore, Smith, Dummer, Douro Township. I'm stuck out Douro-Dummer, Smith, Annismore Township way. I'm back in Virginia North, Annismore, Smith, Dummer, Douro Township. Oh Lord, won't you ride in your chariot and carry me away? I've had the Kool-Aid fair trade and all the little tacos in Texas. And I've done all the yoga meditation that a mama can bring. But when I run out of emergency exits, oh well, I pack on back to the land where it all began. I'm back in Virginia North, Annismore, Smith, Dummer, Douro Township. I'm stuck out Douro-Dummer, Smith, Annismore Township way. I'm back in Virginia North, Annismore, Smith, Dummer, Douro Township. Oh Lord, won't you ride in your chariot and carry me away? Carry us away. Planted my hopes in the dirt in a Yukon spring. But when I gone back to the land of the man, the place where it all began. I'm back in Richard North and it's more Smith, Dummer, Douro, Township. I stuck out to Douro-Dummer, Smith and it's more Township way. I'm back in Richard North and it's more Smith, Dummer, Douro, Township. Oh Lord, won't you ride in your chariot again? Take me to the place where it all began. Lord, won't you ride in your chariot again? Pick me up and carry me away. Pick me up and carry me away. Pick me up and carry me away.
Does anyone think it smells a little minty in here?
Negative.
I do. Because I have some dental floss here.
Oh, are we lassoing?
We're lassoing.
Oh, thank
Someone-
goodness. I was worried it was a noose.
Shoot.
Okay, this is more of a game than a game show. Round one. We're gonna see if anybody can lasso the vibrator. Let's get some sound here. Okay, first person to lasso your vibrator.
Tesla Bot.
So,
I believe,
Oh,
of course,
Angus.
resident cowboy Angus T. Ambrose has taken the lead. At an actual rodeo, this isn't quite accurate, because at an actual rodeo, what we would have done is used a hot rod to electrocute the animals before we tried to lasso them. So, being as we don't have a hot rod, we're going to use the shock collar from a few episodes ago. 1, 2, 3, and I felt it through the vibrator. We have our 3 potential cowpokes here who are going to ride the metaphorical bull. We have Superman, because he's not so super today. We have this soldier with his hand strangely in his shirt. We have Skeletor, and we have He-Man. Please pick your cowpoke to hop upon our mechanical bull.
Okay, I'm going with He-Man.
And I choose the colonizer.
All right, let's start with He-Man.
I'm not having a lot of luck with He-Man, even with his legs bent. Well,
I
that's
will-
what she said.
I will tell you that I did try all these toys out before.
go
All right.
Superman.
Superman.
Go.
Superman is sticking. All right, if Superman makes an entire loop, we're gonna put Superman in the lead. Superman is in the lead. I believe that's how Superman canonically arrived at Earth, aboard a giant vibrator. The soldier has been bucked.
Well, ain't that something?
Ain't that something? So unfortunately, the non-human contestant, once again, just like last week, has won our game show. Thank you very much for watching Good Morning America. And because we do not support cruelty of any kind, we have a public service announcement now discouraging cruelty. Thanks for watching.
Good night, everyone.
On the eyes of an angel, take a ride on an angel's eyes, ride their eyeballs into the sunset, roll around.